every brother that's caught in the crossfire. That's caught in the crossfire.
Without mercy.
How's it going, everybody? Alninio here, and today we got some more news regarding the new Katarina rework that's coming in preseason of 2017. So, let's dive right in with what Riot has said so far. There's more comments from Riot, more additional info on the rework, so let's dive right in. If you guys have not checked out my previous video regarding the rework, it's currently on the screen right now and in the description below. Well, let's head right in, everybody. First Riot comment is from Beluga Whale. I think I said that right. AoE is one of the main strategic elements Katarina brings as an assassin. Now, the good thing here is that they're keeping that aspect of her, they're keeping the feel of her, so it's good that they're keeping the AoE style and spinning all over the place. So that's being kept here, which is very nice. Now, the next comment here. There's no version of Katarina that doesn't involve blinking around and whirling daggers. So once again, they're saying they're gonna keep that style. They're gonna keep the feel of spinning around and blinking all over the place. So this to me proves that they're actually keeping shunpo and they're keeping the AoE with whirling daggers. So that's very nice. Sticking with that AoE, good stuff. Third comment comes from the same guy, Beluga Whale. She probably spins more, actually. Spin to win is the way to go. So you can expect more AoE, you can expect more spinning all over the place, and the fact that he says she would spin more now gets me a little bit more intrigued. Is she just going to be pure AoE now? She's got the R Death Lotus. What's going to be the Sinister Steel? Is that going to come within ultimate? Like, you know how Mazahar ulti works? You press R and then there's a pool on the ground and then the snare on top of the pool. Maybe this works the same way, except when you press R, she Sinister Steals first and then presses R. Or something like that. Who knows? Spin more, so something here to do with more spinning. The fourth Riot comment, I think Kat's skill ceiling and skill floor will both actually raise a bit, if not quite a bit. Hard to say. Beluga may be able to add more details to this still, which is the other writer. But here basically he's saying the Katarina's skill ceiling and skill floor, they're gonna raise. It takes more skill now to play her, is what he's saying. So she's gonna be a little bit more of a skillful champion than how they said in the last video I made, where, you know, everyone thinks she's a button mashing champion and doesn't require skill. They say here she will require skill, and I'm okay with that. You know, she has always required skill to begin with. Alright, for all those who don't main Katarina would not understand us Katarina mains and our skill. So whatever, they're adding more skill, that's great. The second point he makes, most likely, but we are still pretty early into the assassin item update, so it's hard to say what that will look like. Responding to another comment, but the main thing in the second point is that he says there are going to be more assassin items, more assassin item upgrades. So that's maybe not for Katarina specifically, maybe for AD assassins, maybe for AP assassins, but there will be new assassin items to help the assassins in battle. So it's okay, that's pretty cool. The fifth comment here says she will have new ways to get in and out of fights. Now, so this basically confirms to me that she'll be able to enter a fight, go back in, go back out. She'll have those methods and ways to go back in and out. But the main thing here is they did say in their last time that Ward Shunpo might not be a thing, and they're adding something new to her kit that will allow her to do these things without necessarily having a ward. So, you know what? Might be good. The only way we'll know is when we actually see the abilities themselves, and then we'll understand what they mean by this. So don't be too afraid. Don't be all like, oh shit, they removed Ward Shunpo, now I can't be mobile, now I can't chase. Riot's actually adding a method to do that. I don't know what method exactly, but I guess we'll find out. Still, Ward Shunpo took skill. Alright, Riot is saying it takes skill. We want to make Katarina a skillful champion. Ward Shunpo is a skill ability. It's a skill to do it quickly. It's a skill to keep in mind the range. It's a skill to do it after a reset. It's skill. So overall, they're saying they want to make Katarina more skilled. That was already a major part of her skill it really tests the difference between an average cat player and a veteran Katarina player. A veteran Katarina player can do it consistently and very well and keep chasing after resets, because when you reset you get another one, you jump again and again, you get 2 trinkets, but they're removing that. So she will have new ways to get in and out. Right, so the sixth comment here is from the same person, Riav. She will be getting multiple new spells, so here pretty much confirms to me that she will have most likely her W removed, because they did say before that her W is an uninteresting ability. That was said by a writer. Uninteresting. That was part of one of their comments. I think Riaf said that, right? So I'm guessing W, Bouncing Blade maybe, some changes to Death Lotus. Although I think Death Lotus is being kept the way it is, because as we go further on, I'll show you that a writer said that. So cool, new spells. See what they are. It's gonna be fantastic. Only we just have to wait for the reveal as we get closer to preseason. Next comment is by the same person, Riab. I would think more in the vein of Vlad Q. It feels the same but function very differently. So here he's talking about Katarina's Bouncing Blade. So it's pretty much confirmed. Bouncing Blade is going to be a single target ability, just like how it works live, except it's gonna be more like a Vlad Q type of style. It feels the same, but it functions differently, so I'm curious where they go with that. Now the 8th comment here is by Beluga Whale, and he says, it's unlikely that her ult will change in any significant fashion on a gameplay basis. So again, here we have confirmation. Death Lotus is going to remain. She will still be spinning all over the place. Her ulti is very ideal and unique to her, so they're keeping that. They're keeping that part of her spinning, and I guess we'll see what AP ratios are being changed on that, or they're removing AD ratios and adding more AP, or maybe an added thing to the ultimate that makes it so you can do different things. Who knows for sure, but it's confirmed. Her ulti will remain. The next comment here is by Beluga Whale as well. We debated whether, which I found pretty interesting. We debated whether we should swap her over to AD since it made more sense with how her spells feel, but ultimately we chose to keep her AP based build because the item honestly were cooler. Zhonya's is definitely an amazing item on Cat, and the cost of forcing everyone to relearn builds was not worth it. So in the end they did decide to go for AP Cat. They were originally thinking, let's make her AD because it fits her style, but they're like, nah. I'm actually happy they kept her AP. We're used to AP Katarina. This is how we've come to know and love Katarina since the beginning of Season 1 up until Season 6. She's always been AP. Everyone built her AP. AP. Good stuff. Happy about that. Happy to hear that from Riot. It's good they have reconsidered it. And on the next comment here by Beluga Whale, he says, no goal towards pushing back towards AD Cat, though Gunblade is a pretty cool item if she feels special and gets to build it. I will cry if tank Katarina is the right way to play her. Believe me, Beluga Whale, I would cry as well if players ever decide tank Katarina is actually viable. She is not a tank. I already dislike people building Sunfire Katarina top. I think that's obnoxious. She's an assassin, she's not a tank. The end. Unlikely her ultimate will undergo significant changes, though Grievous Wounds is still a question we are figuring out. So most likely I feel Grievous Wounds will be removed from her ulti, but what are they going to add on top of that? Who knows? Her ultimate, there won't be significant changes. It's still going to work the same way, it's still going to feel the same way, but they're questioning Grievous Wounds here. Next point he makes here is the 50% damage reduction is probably not staying. He's talking about shunpo, by the way. The belief is that she has enough mobility in this iteration that any other type of defense is basically unnecessary here. So they're basically just removing the damage reduction off shunpo is because it feels unnecessary, and as an assassin, you're not supposed to have that type of thing. I mean, look at Akali. Her shroud, her W, used to give her armor and MR. It used to give her defense. They removed that, and instead they added more movement speed while you're in the W. They're doing the same thing with Katarina here. They're removing these defense stats that they feel is not good enough, or it just doesn't suit them because they're an assassin. Instead they were just removing the damage reduction completely from the shunpo, and I don't know what they're gonna replace that with, or they're just gonna remove it completely and not add anything to it. Who knows? Bouncing Blade is getting reworked, but will probably retain the feel of the live spell. So here we have confirmation. Katarina's Bouncing Blades, aka her Q, is getting reworked. It's gonna feel different, but it's going to be different, but it's going to feel like the live spell in the current patch 6.16 until we get to preseason. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know where they're going to go with that, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be a single target ability, just like how it is right now, just like how Vlad's Q is. When you press Q, it's a single target ability. It's a lock on. There's no skill shot or whatever, so don't be worried about, you know, thinking, oh shit, they're gonna make Bouncing Blade a skill shot just like they did with, you know, Rise or whatever. Don't worry, it's gonna be single target still. So, our final comment here is actually a discussion. Riot explains his experience with the playtest, and then he says it's not a hit all my buttons really fast type of playstyle. He played her and tested her, and he said it's not just button mashing, it actually took skill for him to play. So then the next person asks, is there a champion that you can compare fast pace to? And he responds, Yasuo or Zed come to mind, which I find pretty cool that he actually compared Katarina to Yasuo or Zed, because I actually like those champions as well. They're pretty cool, they're pretty fast paced too. Obviously she will not function like them, but it comes to mind when they're fast paced. You think Katarina, you think Zed and Yasuo. So that's what he's saying. Further on, someone else says she could be the AP version of Yasuo after the update. To which Riot responds, not sure how it will turn out with millions of players play the new Cat, but I wouldn't be upset if she had a mastery curve similar to Yasuo. So he wouldn't be upset if she took the amount of skill that a Yasuo would take, that amount of skill. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I'd like to see that type of skill level. And it's pretty intriguing. It's pretty intriguing to me so far. Those are all the Riot comments, and those are my thoughts on them. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't checked out my previous video, it's going to be in the description and on the screen right now. You can check them out about the Riot comments and what are the changes that are going to be happening for that. Here we just went furthermore and saw all these other Riot comments that we didn't go over in the previous video. So that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Here's a big heart to all the Noxian family. Love y'all, and I'll see you guys later. See you guys later. Peace out.
Meanwhile